Wait.
Welcome to the Haqq Podcast.
مولا علي مولا علي أنا حبي علي وغرامي علي مولا علي مولا علي أنا حبي علي وغرامي علي.
Assalamu alaikum. Hey guys, welcome to the Haqq Project.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We are so excited for this project. This is an initiative that we have been thinking about for a couple months, and we've been holding off putting out our episodes because we want to make sure we get the best product out there, right?
Yes, we are so excited to finally be out there, finally be on air. with
Yes.
you guys.
First episodes, just set the stage, see what kind of topics we're going to talk about through this podcast series, highlight why we started this podcast initiative, what we want for our listeners to get out of it, who our target audience is, what you can learn from this. And did I miss anything?
No, you brought pretty much everything.
Okay,
So
awesome.
before we start, we did want to start with a dua because we want to start off on the right foot. So let's just get into it.
Yeah. So this is actually a dua that Prophet Musa alayhi salam would recite. And we're going to start that. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli.
My Lord, expand for me my chest and ease for me my task and untie the knot from my tongue that they understand my speech. So we should explain this real quick. The reason we wanted to start with the dua, as I said, is so that we can start off on the right note and so that we can ask Allah for guidance and help in being able to give out the right knowledge and spread truth. Hence, the Haqq Project.
Yes.
Haqq means truth for anyone who might not know that information. Everybody knows that information.
No, it's so great to go over why we've decided to go with the name The Haqq Podcast. Overall, we want to be able to convey the right messages, and inshallah, we're able to do just that. We do want to mention that obviously there's no need for everyone to take advice for us.
We are youth. We are just you guys. Basically, the whole point was so that we can talk to each other. We are all youth. We're talking. You guys are talking.
Yeah, so
we're just kind of having a discussion circle kind of situation, which
I
we will
think
go into.
That was a really good point because I feel like something we really want to come out of this podcast is, for Musarad and I to be talking, in case you didn't know our names. So my name,
Oh, yeah, we forgot to go through that. My name is Musarad.
my name is Sakina.
We are SMS.
Yes.
And to explain that real quick, SMS, you guys might be wondering, S,
M.
S,
M.
M, where's the other S? So, S number 3, 2.
Yeah.
Person number 3.
Honestly, one second. Our podcast, when we're talking about one thing, we're going to jump right to the next because what I'm thinking about is how we were just talking about something else before we hopped into why we're called SMS. What were we talking about before that? Fatima is down there. You guys can't see her, but do you remember?
Oh, yes, youth. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I think I was making a point that, when Musarat and I are talking, right? And, whoever's listening, you guys should come up with your own circles, discussion circles. And we really encourage that because Musarat and I recently got involved in a discussion circle within our mosque. And that has really helped us to be able to understand our own books that we study as Muslims. And I think it has created that space of, really great learning, sisterhood building.
Everything. Yeah. So our third is Samia. Currently, Samia is off screen. She will be back. She's working behind the scenes with us. And inshallah, very soon she will be back. We're looking forward to having her back.
Super excited.
But
It'll be nice.
she is behind the scenes and she is the second S of SMS. So, Sakina, Musarat, Samia.
Yay. We did take 5 minutes to talk about why we're called SMS, but I think that's such a great thing because that's exactly what we want to do. We want to just, make that comfortable, conversation and dynamic between us and you guys. We don't want to just delve right into topics of deep discussion. I think it's good to create that kind of friendly environment.
Definitely.
So when you guys tune into our next episodes, there's nothing to stress about when coming to watch us. It's more like, hey, let me listen to this while I clean my room.
Debrief. That's the whole point, to sit and relax.
Exactly.
Like get a break.
We could be a background noise, or you could tune in fully and watch our whole YouTube video.
Whatever you prefer.
Yeah. But with your support, we hope that maybe this podcast will be able to become available on more platforms, and that's obviously
that's our goal.
That's our goal, and it's possible.
We can merch some hoodies.
I mean, we might just get a merch out. We're thinking outside
the box.
Outside the box, because outside the box thinking is good though.
Yeah, very important. Outside the box.
Like, look, who would have ever thought that we were gonna come and start a podcast?
This is like my dream come true. I walked in here and I was like, is this actually happening? Like low key, there's a light there. There's a camera. There's a screen with my face on it. Where am I? But yeah, this is so exciting.
Yeah, it's a really cool
Live
setup.
up your dreams, guys.
We were like it sounds cliche, but it is really exciting for us. Obviously, like I guess that can just get us into our next topic of discussion, which is individually what made us start this podcast, what made us interested in joining this podcast, in being a part of it, right? Sorry, let's start with you.
All right. So basically, let's go into a little story time moment. The three of us, Sakina, Samia, and I, we were at mosque one day and we were just talking about how I really wanted to start. Well, we all kind of had this idea that we wanted to start some type of platform. I had always wanted to start some type of channel or some type of social media, but I wanted to make sure that whatever social media I started had an impact. I kind of wanted to go on the Islamic route. That's kind of the goal I had, but I wanted to start some sort of platform and have a place where I can give something from what I'm saying. I want to be able to give, so you guys are learning.
Give something back to
give
the youth,
back
right?
To the youth, yeah, basically. That's the whole point.
Yeah, like I know that was one thing Masarad and I both connected on, of wanting to start this podcast, was to be able to give back to the youth. We try to do that as well through like teaching I teach little kids in Sunday school.
I teach the older grades, not anymore, but I used to teach the 7th graders, and I still kind of volunteer here and there.
Yeah.
And I also work with kids.
So that's a great way to give back. No, I was going to say that's a great way to give back, and like this is just another fun way to give back, So, I mean, yeah, thanks for sharing. For myself, yeah, like again, for me, it was giving back. I think I also wanted to start this because I love doing new things, and exciting projects always give me something to look forward to in life. And I think that when we start to look forward to something, we feel happier, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. And like this is something that fills our soul. It's not just like a happiness that's like quick, done and there. Like it's not a temporary feeling like, oh, I'm so happy to record this because we're talking about absolutely anything. No, like we have a purpose in why we're speaking. We have a purpose in what we researched before we're coming here to speak to you all. So I think it gives us something to look forward to.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm so excited to be able to learn with you guys and discuss and have those conversations. Basically, there was this whole idea where we were going to these discussion circles. Me and Siki, you already went through that, didn't you?
What's that?
That we're in the discussion circle?
Yeah.
Anyways, in this discussion circle, it was youth talking to youth. And for me, it's a lot of the time, I feel like it's easier to talk to people your age, especially when you're going through things and struggles, because a lot of the time, elders, yeah, you can talk to them. They definitely help. But they're experiencing it in a different generation. When they talk about their experiences, they go through it from their time. Right now is a different time, right?
Yeah.
So when we, as youth, are talking to you guys, and we're all talking together, we understand our situations in such a different level.
Yeah, and it's not to say that, like, elders can't help us.
Yeah, definitely go through with adults, because usually they have more experience and they are more learned, so you can get more help from them.
And seek advice from them. But it's important.
But I really think it's important for there to be a platform for youth to talk to youth.
Yeah, right? Because that creates that kind of understanding, that direct understanding. Like, hey, I lived through exactly what you're living through, right?
Pretty much. That's, yeah.
Yeah, so...
And when on our discussion circle, that's exactly what we were able to do. And I was just like, I want there to be a place for everyone in the world to be able to do that. So that's kind of what we have here going on. Kind of in a different sense, because y'all are there and we're here, but
we're together.
We're all together.
We're together. So Fatma just suggested that we could even, share a little bit about ourselves. I think that would be great in terms of, what we study, what we like to do in our free time, if we're involved with any clubs on campus. I think that'll give our audience a little bit of an opportunity to get to know us a little bit better. I'm currently majoring in global political studies and minoring in human rights and equity.
So fancy.
I'm so excited to be doing it. Thank you. Because, I feel like what I learn is something I can really apply in our world today. Like, politics control us whether we like it or politics are a part of our lives more than we want it to be, if you want to say it that way.
It was that much, but I've learned now, and I'm like, whoa.
It really, a lot of people, when I was heavily involved with politics, I wanted to know everything that happened from history to now. Like, why is this happening in the world? Why is this war going on? Is it even a war? Who's complicit in these crimes against humanity? And I just wanted to make sense of everything going on in the world. And I realized that, just everything that happens is surrounded by politics, law, human rights, as to if they even exist or what they even mean or who are they even for, right? So I really bring out my passion through what I study, and I think even when it gets really difficult at times in terms of getting your assignments in or getting your projects done and focusing on also having a personal life outside of school, a work-study position, all of that at once is so much going on. But then I come back to my roots and I'm like, okay, well, what I'm studying is something that's going to create an impact, because when I know what's going on around me, I can now step in and maybe change policy or make an impact in terms of...
make a big impact. You can change the world, Sakina. You're going to
It's
change
a
the
big
world.
statement, inshallah, but it'll never be just me. It could never be just me. It has to be that, everyone together. And I was talking about this to my friend the other day that, they really want to make an impact in terms of changing policy. They want to have a whole different type of government. They gave me their whole plan. They're like,
that's so
this
cool.
is,
I love that.
They're like, I want to start my own party. And I'm like, that would be so incredible, to do something
I'm shocked.
like that. Of course.
Sakina party.
No, it wasn't my party, but see, I would join their party.
Yeah, and then it would be the whole thing. That would be so cool.
And
we do need those.
Yes, people will tell us. We do, because people will tell us though that we sound delusional, because it costs so much money and it's you require so many support systems that you don't have yet.
But
You see,
that's the key
you
thing.
have to be thinking outside the box. You have to be not afraid to start something new.
Exactly. Never be afraid to jump into something new, because don't necessarily jump into it. Think about it, process it, but don't ever be afraid that you won't be able to pull something off or do something. That's something I've learned over time. I've experimented with so many different things, but I always go ahead to try. And I think it's so beautiful that people try. I love that you have that mindset where you're like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try. Because what's the harm in trying and starting something new?
You
and
have
having that faith in yourself, because you never know. You might just change the world.
And on that note of having faith in yourself, I think one thing I've really learned is that when you have faith in yourself, and sometimes that's hard, we do doubt ourselves, right? As humans we do. But when you have that faith, other people can have faith in you, and then because you have to trust yourself before other people trust you, right?
I love that statement.
But
that's amazing.
Thank you. Now tell me a little bit about you, Masar.
All right. Well, me. Okay, so I'm currently studying professional writing and concurrent education. Sounds like a big word, concurrent education. Every time I say that, everyone's looking at me crazy. It's just teaching. Professional writing is just communications, but I want to be an English teacher. So my whole thing is I want to, again, as I like to say, be there for the youth, be there for the young ones. I don't really want to teach elementary school necessarily. I kind of want to teach high school. I think about if I should go into an Islamic school, I might even do that and be able to help in that aspect, because we do need a change in Islamic schools. First of all, more Islamic schools. Second of all, I want to see a change in the system of Islamic schools. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
the way that maybe things are run, particularly
in certain aspects. But I think a lot of that is having more people to be there for the Islamic schools, because I don't think we have enough people at the moment, and the more of us that actually go into it, the better it can be. More minds, the better, right?
And like you said, we've experienced a lot of the things that maybe the youth are now going through.
Exactly.
We can come from a very understanding point when you're teaching, I think you have developed this mindset where you're gonna come empathetically to these students.
I really hope so.
You know,
that's my goal.
they can share their problems
I
and
want
their
to be
struggles
able to
with
talk
you.
to them. So I currently work in a daycare with
Mm-hmm.
kids. They're not super young. There's like 6th graders there. So there's 1st to 6th graders also there. And it's so interesting when they get used to you or they get comfortable with you and they start sharing their experiences from their heart and you're actually able to help. It's so nice because they're like, I'm having these problems. No one is able to help me. Can you help me? I love the feeling of being there for them. And then when they come back to you and they're like, hey, it's been like, I was able to get over the issue. Thank you. And I'm like, wait.
It's beautiful.
Like, it's such a beautiful thing. I love seeing that immediate impact. A lot of the time growing up, I had teachers who weren't the best. And another reason why I wanted to be a teacher is so that I can be one of the good teachers of society. You know, like be one of those teachers who's there for their students,
that leave an impact with the
leave an
students.
impact. And the more of those we have, the better. You know?
Yeah, and I think
that's why I want to be a teacher kind of situation. But that's my goal, English teacher.
I think, you know, being a part of a teaching squad, I want to say, because I feel like it's like the most like amazing teachers that leave you with positive impact forever stick in my head as like this little squad.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I see them in a place.
Yeah,
I'm
like they have a
these were the
special
ones-
space in my head and in my heart because, you know,
We need more of those.
they made like through like students obviously have their lives outside of school, right? But as students, majority of their life is with things to do with school. It's composed of things to do with
Definitely.
school. So when there's a teacher who puts this positive outlook in life for the student and, you know, makes them feel good, makes them feel confident, and by, you know,
brings
supporting
that
them.
life
Exactly. It brings
to your
life
life.
to them. Exactly. Like, for real, like I had a professor yesterday, not to just ramble on that one, but I had a professor that I had spoken to yesterday, and all of a sudden they brought out the life in me. I don't know if I talked to you about this today, but basically I came in with the fattest smile here. Like when I came, did you guys notice?
You were so happy. I
right?
was like,
Like,
whoa, this girl's like hyped today. I loved it. I love it.
I'm
I
so
love it when
glad.
you're
Thank
happy.
you. Like I don't know. It was a teacher that helped me.
That's
so
awesome. See? That's
Yeah,
what we need. And
like-
that's why
we were just talking, and all of a sudden, like I felt like myself again, and it was the kind of energy they brought to me. It literally took out
always
who
that.
Sakina is. I was holding myself back without realizing it for a while now, and I don't even know how long. But like yesterday night was like the day where I was like, or the night that I was like, whoa, I felt like myself again. And like that's
wow, I'm so happy. That sounded so
too.
fake. I'm so excited. That is.
She's like, I'm so excited you're gonna start being hyped to do everything again.
No.
And I really am, because this morning I
Not
walked
just
into
that
school.
though. I just love when you're fully yourself.
Thank you.
Your 100%
Yes,
self is
alhamdulillah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
This is very Islamic. I love this.
No, it's really great. This
That is the truth. That is the haqq.
the haqq, the truth. But you know, we should actually get into what the haqq like really
So there's
means.
multiple. Yeah, we should go into that. So there's multiple meanings. So there's truth, and then another one that I was reading about actually in Risalatul Hukuk was responsibility. So haqq can also mean responsibility. So haqq has multiple meanings: truth, responsibility, and rights. And I think that related so much to what we wanted to do this podcast for.
It is our haqq to spread the haqq.
Whoa!
That was that
was
fire?
amazing. I loved that.
Was
that
that
was
fire?
insane. Haqq.
We are, huh?
What was it?
It
It is our haqq to
ha-
spread haqq.
It's our haqq to spread haqq because no, it
We
is
are the haqq.
it is the haqq to spread the haqq at the Haqq Podcast.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, Fatima gonna be giving.
She is giving facts. Yo, this girl back here?
If you guys can hear her, what was the statement? It was.
Mic
It is
drop.
our haqq
I don't have
to
a
spread
mic.
the haqq
I have
at
a
the
coin.
Haqq Podcast.
Coin?
Isn't that what I said though? And I don't know why she.
I
put a
don't
coin.
know why the coin was in there. I
It's
found it in
because
there.
if you guys need tips from not money to like
tips from us, we are giving you tips.
we're giving you life tips because let's just get
you
into
love
life
our-
tips, to be honest.
Do you love our bugs? Anyways.
We do have really cute mugs. Masard had created them and I think they're really, really cute. Soon we're gonna be getting a sign that's gonna say, what do you guys think it's gonna say?
Comment down below. I love saying that.
What do you think it's gonna say? You
It
think
makes me feel like feel.
comment down below what you think the sign's gonna say, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because the comments, Masarat
Boss.
is going to be really happy. She's going to go down. Do you want to make Masarat smile? She's going to go down. Who commented in the video?
I am.
Sakina, check.
I'm gonna screenshot everything, guys. Just
She's really excited, so let's make her day. I'm gonna go comment as well. I'm gonna go comment what I think
Are you
the sign
gonna
is gonna
comment?
say.
Thank
I
you.
think the sign is gonna say exactly what I think it's gonna say because I ordered it. It's gonna take a little while to come,
Okay,
but it's gonna come.
I love that. I'm excited for it to come. Next.
Inshallah, it's gonna inshallah by next month. And if not, we'll just keep saying
It's coming. So basically, Haqq, back to where we were. Haqq is responsibility and truth, which is what we wanted to embed in this podcast. We feel like it's all of our responsibility to follow the Islamic teachings. We have so many of them. So we wanted to spread that, be able to go through the different responsibilities we have in different situations. Basically, my whole mindset was we all go through different things. But I think it would be so much easier if we went through Islamic teachings when we are going through these things, because everything kind of has a solution or some way that it can be easily gone through. Like we can go through our experiences a little bit easier.
there's ways to navigate through the difficulties.
Exactly. Navigating through difficulties is basically what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And it's our responsibility. It is even our right. Like we have that there to be able to use it.
There's
to better
resources
our
around
lives.
us, like Islamic resources that are around us, things that are taught to us in Islam, in the Quran, that, we can make use of so much. Like there's ways to respond to certain situations, is how you're saying, like for example, if we're sick and, or let's say it's Ramadan and you're really tired, there are teachings that are, like, yes, it's a good deed to sleep, but don't sleep all day.
I like sleeping. I cried about it this morning.
Because,
I cried about not sleeping this morning.
Me too. So, anyways, everyone needs
Twins.
sleep. Sleeping is a good deed. Like it's good for you, right? You are to sleep.
blessings in
But for example, can I say for example, at night you should be sleeping. There is an Islamic teaching about us sleeping at night and being awake in the day early after sunrise, after you pray Fajr. After you pray Fajr.
And then you're even supposed to take a nap at Zohar. There's a whole thing about it.
Yes,
Have you heard that?
Yes, I have heard something like this.
Yeah.
But
so there is ways we can be living our lifestyle to make it easier for us. Allah made it for us to make our lives easier.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna do
use this podcast to be able to. We want to be able to talk about those things so that we can collectively improve our lives and better ourselves.
Definitely.
The truth is.
So the Haqq mug drop.
Back to where we are. Back to the beginning.
I think I think one other thing we wanted to go over, I guess, before wrapping up is what sort of topics are we going to go through this podcast series, and we can give a few themes and ideas I think that we're thinking about, but really we want to hear from you all.
We will be doing a little bit of research beforehand before we discuss these topics. So if you guys have a topic you want us to discuss and learn a little bit about so that we can share it with you guys and we can all learn to improve ourselves in that context, feel free to share.
Yeah, no, definitely. Do you want to share a few of the ones we have in mind?
Yeah, I will. Before I do that, our Instagram is the Haqq Projects with an S, just so that you can find us easier. It will be in the description and all that stuff. But some topics we were thinking about was peer pressure and how to avoid haram temptations, hijab in the West, and the importance of real friends. Scary. Mental health from an Islamic perspective, and just something fun like how to be the best version of ourselves, even in an Islamic context.
No, I think that's
a
beautiful
good
way to
little
wrap
sneak
up.
peek.
Yeah.
And before we completely wrap up, we should probably talk about what is going on in the world right now. Do you want to be the one? You can be our advocacy right here real quick. We do want to bring awareness to this before we end off, because it's important that all of us are speaking about this and always remembering that this is happening, okay?
I think it is so important for us to acknowledge and be constantly reminding ourselves of what is happening in the Middle East and around the world in terms of injustices. There's people being killed, there's people being murdered, homes being destroyed. There's just like the most horrible things you could hear are a reality.
Huge
And
amount of injustice.
I think sometimes it's easy to normalize it in our heads because of how long we've been hearing it's going on for. And it's like, oh, what can we do? The least you can do is remind yourself that it's not normal, that it's happening, and that talk about it. You have to like talk about it to people because we can't be desensitized to it. And so even when we are having a conversation where we might be laughing, having a good time, hey, let's still remember our people around the world that are suffering today.
The best thing, honestly, that we can do is just pray. So duas like dua ahl al-thughur, which is really beneficial in these type of situations, and just doing what we can where we can.
On that note, Musarat, I think we are good to wrap up. What do you think?
We have reached the end of podcast number 1.
Yes.
We did it. Alhamdulillah.
For our first podcast, let's do a loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We are so excited for you guys to continue tuning in with us every month. Inshallah, we're trying for every month. Yes. I don't know what's
We're getting a thumbnail.
Ready?
Thank you for tuning in once again to this podcast. It was so lovely having you coming in to listen, and we can't wait to see you at our next episode.
We are so excited, and we are looking forward to reading your comments. I'm very excited to read your comments. Please write comments.
Type away.
Everyone.
Bye. Kadafis. See you next time.
See you in our next podcast, inshallah. Let's just get a lot of goodbyes so we have a lot of options.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are so happy that you guys were able.
If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching because we just filmed 10 outros and we're going to use this one.